It's that time again, folks. I'm back with my continued coverage of the 2021 G1 Climax Tournament. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Natural Chris Black of the Saturday Night SlamCasters podcast, independent professional wrestler, and everybody's favorite narcissist. After another exciting night of A-Block action, we are one step closer to revealing who the winner of the block will be. I have 6 matches to go over, so let's get it. In the opening match, we have Shingo Takagi defeating Fujita, the Young Lion. Shingo is primed and ready for the Best of the Super Juniors tournament that is set for November. Shingo has Fujita's name written on the tape on the palm of his hand. In the last match where he chopped Oiwa to shit, he had the same thing. Well, he had Oiwa's name written on his tape on the palm of his hand. Fujita takes a different approach to this match. He uses headlocks and shoulder tackles, focusing on keeping Shingo grounded. But once they're up on their feet, the chopping starts. Fujita fires back, trying to take them in stride. But it was Fujita's turn for a welcome to the business match. Fujita, however, was not backing down, but those chops were definitely putting him on his back. Shingo forces him to use up his energy with multiple pin attempts, kind of like he was doing against Oiwa. Fujita fights out of a crab and then starts unloading forearms, then takes him down with a drop kick. Although he's not blown up, it does look like Fujita's gassed a bit. So Takahashi ends up getting the victory by the Boston Crab submission. Fujita's chest not as red, but it definitely had welts on it. Alright, getting into tournament action, we have Kota Ibushi defeating Satoshi Kojima. Kojima subbing for Naito, who is out on injury. Kojima is the former 2010 G1 Climax winner, and he is back from a brief tour in the US where he had matches with people such as Jon Moxley and AEW. He starts the match out with some mat wrestling, Kojima focusing on the arm, Ibushi focusing on the leg. Kojima knocks Ibushi to the outside, but when he tries a plancha, Ibushi moves as Kojima crashes to the floor and Ibushi takes control of the match. Even though these matches are extremely predictable, they're still very good to watch. It's way better than just your standard squash match, because squash matches are only designed to get the finisher over. A competitive match actually puts the wrestler over. So this is why I will take a competitive match, even if the finish is pretty much a given. I'll still take a competitive match over a squash match any day, because you get to observe the method that the wrestler uses in order to take their opponent down. But anyway, getting back to this match. We get Kojima's greatest hits. He lands the machine gun chops, his pecs are popping, he's using forearms, the Koji cutter, and of course the big lariat. Kojima tries to suplex Ibushi on the apron, but instead just settles for a DDT, both still very effective. Kota fires up, hits a Bomboye, attempts a Kamigoye, but it's blocked. All these guys have figured out that if you cross your arms, you can't nail the Kamigoye. So Kojima gets up and hits a lariat that turns Ibushi inside out. However, it doesn't take long to capitalize, as Ibushi catches him with a German suplex, a high knee, and then nails the Kamigoye for the pin and the win. Alright, in the next match we have Tomohiro Ishii defeating Yujiro Takahashi. Yujiro attacks Ishii before the bell as he was getting in the ring. He attacks him with the pimp stick, anything to give him an advantage. Ishii was on a 4-match winning streak going into this match. Now 5 after this one. Ishii starts no-selling the basement drop kicks and then begins to invite the forearms. But instead he's thrown into the corner and comes out with a shoulder tackle, knocking Yujiro down. Then he starts to chop the shit out of Yujiro like he was a young lion. Ishii able to keep fighting off Yujiro's attacks. He gives a big second rope delayed suplex, but Yujiro slows Ishii down, planting him with a DDT, with Ishii landing looking like he's an ostrich with his head in the sand. Yujiro goes for a buckle bomb on Ishii, but totally missed the buckle. I mean, unless he meant to do that. You know, power bomb him in the corner, but why? You could just power bomb him in the middle of the ring. So I'm just thinking he fucked up. Ishii fights up and lands a sliding lariat, followed up by a big lariat, but Yujiro responds with the pimp juice for a very close 2 count. I have to admit, this is probably my favorite Yujiro match. I mean, he has an answer to practically everything that Ishii brings. Damn, did I just give this dude a compliment? I must be tripping. Ishii finally finishes him off with a vertical brain buster for the win and 2 additional points. Next we have Kenta defeating Tanga Loa. It is Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. So all 3 of them does the 2 sweets. Kenta's the one that actually needs the points. Tanga really gets nothing but bragging rights had he won. So they're being real polite and civil with each other. That's not going to last long. Tanga's throwing off Kenta from the lockup. Kenta's complaining. Tanga's, pleading his case like, come on, dude, it's a match. But he gets tired of Kenta's whining and starts saying, hey, you're the one who needs these 2 points and you're going to have to earn them. Kenta tries to back him down with kicks, but Tanga Loa still has the strength advantage, and Kenta rolls out of the ring. Kenta starts calling him out, challenging him to fight on the floor. Tanga's like, well, you're the one that needs the points, so you need to get in the ring. But we do a bit of a do-si-do in and out the ring between the two. Kenta rolls out, Tanga Loa follows him, Kenta rolls in, Tanga rolls in, Kenta rolls out. Anyway, Jado gets enough of that, and he stops Kenta from rolling out again. He doesn't put hands on him, he just stops him from rolling out. At this point, Kenta gets thrown out, and they actually start fighting outside the ring. Tanga Loa is still on top, and he's toying with Kenta like a big brother wrestling with his little brother. He starts taunting him the way Kenta does, with the foot pushes on the face. This really gets Kenta going. Finally starts getting in some offense. Tanga starts absorbing the kicks and is firing up after each one until he's taken right back down. 15 minutes in, Tanga Loa looks like he's going to lose this match the way it's been going. Kenta starts turning things around. 15 minutes in, Tanga looks like he's about to win this match the way things are going, but Kenta starts turning things around after a hanging knee drop and a green killer. He hits a running boot in the corner, gets the delayed drop kick, then the double stomp combo for only a 2 count. These two start trading forearms, and Tama Tonga drops him with a hard slam. We get a ref bump when Tanga Loa charges towards Kenta. He throws the ref in the corner, ref gets squashed. Kenta uses the same tactics practically in every match, but I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Tanga Loa, again, frustrated with Kenta's antics, he starts shouting, "Face me like a man, you've been a bitch the whole match." But Kenta low blows both Tanga Loa and an angry Jado. He grabs the kendo stick, but when the ref comes to, he throws the stick down, and as the ref is checking on Jado, he goes after Tanga Loa with the kendo stick, but he gets low blowed instead. The finish of the match was Kenta getting an Akano roll out of the corner, putting his feet on the ropes for the 3 count. Afterward, Kenta starts copping pleas, and they all still do the 2 sweet, so I guess no hard feelings in the Bullet Club. Next match, we have Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Toru Yano. Zack pounces on Yano during introductions, well, actually before introductions, with a lot of quick pin attempts. Yano bails out the ring in order to gather himself. Zack does not want to risk any of Yano's shenanigans catching him up, so he goes after him. Yano starts showing off his wrestling prowess, hanging with Zack Sabre Jr. a bit, but then he grabs Zack Sabre Jr., picks him up, and carries him through the curtains. Yano comes running out once the count gets started. Zack stumbles out with the bag on his head, again with the goddamn bag, because he's stumbling around like the bag is stuck on his head, but all he does is snatches it off and then gets to the ring before the 20 count. Zack charges at Yano, throws him out the ring again. Yano tries running underneath the ring, but Zack stops him, and as he's pulling him out, Yano has handcuffs, but Zack takes it from him and actually handcuffs them together. Now things are getting a little interesting. Having a wrestling match with the 2 guys cuffed together. Zack is able to still get an armbar, and Yano taps out. It's a very short match, but it was interesting, especially once they handcuffed each other. I don't think I've seen that before. Alright, and in our main event, we have Shingo Takagi defeating the Great-O-Kahn. And now Shingo comes out and he has tapes on his ribs. I guess this tournament is taking a toll on a lot of people. So there's a bit of a feeling out process. Great-O-Kahn trying to out-wrestle Shingo. We get the shoulder tackle spot with Shingo taking Great-O-Kahn down, who returns the favor with a shoulder tackle of his own that sends Shingo to the outside. And then he takes advantage of this opening. Now Kahn is in control of this match. They start trading chops, regular chops, and then start trading Mongolian chops. Shingo starts to fight up and starts to take apart Great-O-Kahn, but Kahn is not done yet. He starts to dish out more punishment and even tries to humiliate Shingo by forcing his head down to his boot as if to kiss his feet. This pisses off Shingo, who unleashed a fury on Great-O-Kahn before they start trading strikes. Both men are just no-selling each other's attacks until Shingo lands a sliding lariat. Shingo starts to fire up. Great-O-Kahn counters by targeting the ribs, slowing him right back down, and then drapes him over the rope. He hits a backbreaker, doing more damage to the ribs, puts on the sheep killer, and then a power slam. At the 20-minute mark, Great-O-Kahn attempts an eliminator, but it is reversed into a cross arm breaker. Shingo gets him up for a Made in Japan for a very close 2 count. Shingo then catches Great-O-Kahn with the knee when he charges, which still doesn't put Kahn away, and at the 25-minute mark, he lands a pumping bomber on Kahn for a 2 count. Finally, he hoists him up, hits him with the last of the dragon to pick up the win and the 2 points. So again, the top 4 are still at a 4-way tie. But eventually this tie will be broken before the final night of the block, or at least I hope so. So looking at these points, at 4 points and eliminated, we have Yujiro Takahashi and Tanga Loa. At 6 points, we have Great-O-Kahn, also eliminated. At 8 points, Toru Yano is also eliminated, and Tomohiro Ishii at 10 points is now officially out of the running. And still at tie with 12 points, we have Kenta, Shingo Takagi, Kota Ibushi, and Zack Sabre Jr. Again, there's a lot of tiebreakers factoring in between these 4, so it's going to get interesting the last couple of matches. But with that, let's go ahead and get ready to take it home. If you've been enjoying all of these reviews, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out so you are notified whenever I post new content. Remember, the goal is to get to 100 subs by the end of October. So be sure to do your part, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. You can follow me on all social media. There are links in the description that'll take you to my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. And don't forget to show the Saturday Night SlamCasters some love. Links are in the description. That'll take you to our podcast hosting site, our YouTube channel, Facebook page, and Facebook group. I'm super excited for this last night of the A block coming up, and I will be back with that review. So with that being said, see you next time. Come get slammed.